Now that I have my XSplit working properly, I realized I had the the microphone plugged in the wrong one. I don't know. Life begins at conception. Period. You don't follow God. I do, and I don't care about your misconception, misinformation, or your so-called logic. Stop posing your will on others, bitch boy 999. Okay, so you say that you declare that life begins at conception, while the reality is it doesn't really even matter when life actually begins. To argue that is completely useless. I mean, why do you people argue when life actually begins? I don't understand that. I mean, how do you even know? Why do you want life to begin at conception? You don't care about my misconception, misinformation. What misconception or misinformation have I ask questions. I don't provide information or conceptions. I don't conceptualize things. I say things like, maybe abortion wouldn't be a thing if God designed reproduction perfectly. I say shit like that, but, well, the thing is too, you say, you insist that life begins at conception, but then you tell me that my misconception, misinformation, and whatever else is irrelevant in imposing my will onto others. Wow, that's what you're doing. So what's the fucking deal there, Bucks? So nobody's allowed to tell you anything, but you're the arbiter of reality here? I mean, you don't follow God, I do. Why do you follow God? Why do you want God to exist? And you don't care about... how is God right? Or why do you want God to be right about everything? Why do you want Christianity to be the truth? And calling me a bitch boy isn't going to get you anywhere either. You're very full of yourself, and to tell me that life begins at conception, and what does following God have to do with when life begins? Well, the bitch boy 999 comments just buries you. That's all I can really say about it. I'm glad I didn't lose that. Life begins at conception. Suppose it does begin at conception. What's your point? What relevance does that carry? And for you to just see that without any kind of interest in what other opinions. Are you a scientist? And even if you are, what does God have to do with that? What does God have to do with... Well, I already asked that, but if you don't care about it, I'm guessing you don't care about anybody's dissenting conceptions or information or logic, then why should people care about yours? Because you follow God? What does that mean? What should that mean to me? And you say that I'm posing my will onto others. What are you doing? You're telling me you're posing your will onto me and everybody else. You say you don't care. Well, what if other people don't care about what you have to say? That you insist that life begins at conception. Is everybody else obligated to care when you insist that life begins or that you follow God? Why am I to care about that? You don't care, but you just make a point to tell me that life begins at conception, period, and that you follow God. So, not following God, that makes anything I say just irrelevant just because of that? Maybe God's wrong. God can't be wrong? Why? How? Explain. What's he right about? What is God right about? Like I say, the bitch boy 999 comment just voids this whole reply of any kind of credibility. And even if I did say anything, how is it a misconception or misinformation? How is anything I say illogical? What will am I posing onto others?